Stubbornness and hardness of heart. Leviathan's strength is in his neck. Job 41:22. According to Psalm 18 and 40, Yahuwah gives us the necks of our enemies. Yahusha and Yahusha demonstrated their enemies' defeat by putting their feet on the necks of the kings of Canaan. Yahusha 10 and 24. A strong neck refers to being stubborn and stiff-necked. Stubbornness and rebellion are two more manifestations of pride. Stubbornness is the refusal to change. Many leaders and assemblies refuse to change when a new flow of the Ruach is being released upon the body of Hamashiach. There is a resistance to change, which is nothing but a manifestation of Leviathan. According to 1 Shemuel 15:23, rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Stubbornness will cause a man to reject the word of Yahuwah. This was the sin of Shaul. Many reject present truth being spoken today because of stubbornness. Change is a part of life. You cannot grow without change. We must be flexible in order to change with Yahuwah. There are always new things being birthed and released in the kingdom. Yashrael was often referred to as a stiff-necked people. Exodus 33 and 3. Stephen called those who resist the Ruach HaKodesh stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart. Acts 7 and 51. Deuteronomy 31 and 27 says, "For I know your rebellion and your stiff neck." The Mophart translation says, "For I know your defiant temper and your stubborn ruach." Stubbornness is a refusal to repent and turn from the crooked way. Psalm 75 and 5 says, "Do not lift up your horn on high. Do not speak with a stiff neck." Lift up your horn means to boast or to flaunt power. It means to be arrogant and irrelevant. It means to defy Yahuwah. This is associated with a stiff neck. Refusing to hear, anti-submissiveness, and unteachableness are all tied in with being stiff-necked. Jeremiah 17:23. There are all manifestations of pride and Leviathan. Another characteristic of the spirit Leviathan is being unyielding and unbending. Job 41 and 23. To yield means to submit by giving way before force, argument, persuasion, or entreaty. It means to relinquish one's rights. People who are set in their ways, unbending and unyielding, are being controlled by Leviathan, who refuses to yield. Hardness of heart is the next manifestation of the Ruach of Leviathan. Yahuwah shows us in Job 41 and 24, many believers suffer from the condition of hardness of heart, just as the disciples did. Pharaoh, who was also referred to as the great dragon, Ezekiel 29 and 3, hardened his heart and was destroyed in the Red Sea. Hardness of heart prevents us from walking in the fullness of Yahuwah's Baraka. Leviathan hinders spiritual growth. It causes sleepiness while trying to pray, studying the word, or even while sitting in a service are manifestations of the spirit. People who have problems praying or understanding the word of Yahuwah are often controlled by Leviathan. An inability to remember scriptures or recall the word have also been traced to Leviathan. Pride's trail. The amplified version of Job 41:30 says, "His underparts are like sharp pieces of broken pottery." The underbelly is one of the most vulnerable areas found in reptiles. As this sharp underbelly drags along, it leaves a distinct trail while upon the land. In the same way, pride will leave a trail wherever it goes. This trail includes hurt, pain, broken marriages, backsliding, shame, and destruction. The Bible tells us that pride goes before destruction and a haughty ruach before a fall. Proverbs 16 and 18. Destruction follows the trail of pride. Leviathan lives in the depths and causes it to boil. Job 41 and 31. Pride is so deep in a man, it is difficult to draw it out because it lives so deep within us. Boiling represents restlessness. Humility brings rest. Pride causes restlessness. Wherever pride goes, he leaves a trail behind. Wherever you look, you can see a trail of misery, broken lives, and destruction. Do not walk in the path of pride. It is a path that leads to shame and destruction. Leviathan is not an earthly creature. We are dealing with a ruach, a strong man in the kingdom of darkness. There is no creature on earth that is comparable to this fearless ruach. Job 41 and 33.